Hello and welcome, everybody, to Mania. So this is me doing my nails, and I have a different setup than you have seen before. It's kind of jerry rigged, won't be the same twice, but yeah. So let me show you that. Et voila. The it's a little blown out right now, but once you can see as I put my hand in there, it'll be a little more palatable. I have a very bright light, kind of adjacent to where the camera is. So that's why it's a little funky, but my hand will be in it most of the time. So shouldn't be a problem. All right. So let us begin. The way we always. Oh, wrong one. So actually, this is good. Let me show you some of my bona fides. So I did use the Holo Taco box in my thumbnail because I will be using that exact color that I just recently got, the Work Bestie color. And let me show you a little something. Okay, so if I get out of there, whoop, nope. Oh, son of a. Okay, this, as you can see, is my nail polish catalog. It is long, strong, and down to get the friction on. There are a lot in here, and I used to have a quantity, but it's whatever I had that was counting isn't working anymore, so I got to fix that. But I think we are somewhere in the neighborhood of 400. So if I go all the way down, 444. Boom shakalaka. So yeah, 444 or 443 polishes. I may have actually a few more on here. Because I had updated this. I have a date that I updated. I updated it today to add the Work Bestie that I just recently got. But I know that I bought some around Christmas, and I don't know if they're in here. I think they are, but if I put them in around Christmas, I did not update. Well, I did because I got the matte taco. All right, so I put them in, but I just hadn't updated the date because the date said 2020, and that's just ain't right. So if you are unfamiliar with Holo Taco, let me show you the origins is simply nailogical. I have been a subscriber, one of her 7.61 million, for quite a few years. She kind of got big with like Polish Mountain, where she did like 100 layers of nail polish. And I think I started watching her right around that time. So it's been a while. She has since sort of kind of moved on to do more streaming stuff. And this brand is 3 years old. Holo Taco is. So, but it's, I tell you about it because it is an incredible brand. Just in terms of the quality of the formula is fantastic. And as you can see here, I am equal opportunity in terms of brand. I have a ton of Julep, because when they had their subscription box, I was a subscriber for a few years. So I have a ton of Julep, which is also a really good formulation that I don't think they make nail polish anymore. And which is odd because they started as a nail polish brand. But that's a whole nother story. So, I have LA Colors, which is super shitty, cheap, Wet and Wild, but then I have like OPI and Zoya and Orly and Pure Ice is like the cheapest of the cheap. Clean Color, I'm pretty sure I got that at like a dollar store. You see what I'm saying? Like I drugstore brands. I think maybe the most quote unquote luxury brands that I have are probably the OPI or the Holo Taco, or maybe even the Julep. And that's just because I'm just thinking price wise. Price wise, OPIs are usually around $10 if you are not overpaying for them. SE is about the same price. Sally Hansen and Wet and Wild and all those are under. They're usually like 7 or 8 and under. This is not taking into account inflation because it's been a while since I bought any drugstore brands. Just because I've been buying the Holo Taco. Now, the Julep polishes were all roughly about $14 each. And the Holo Taco polishes range from, I think, like the top coats are about 11 to some of the more like densely packed top coats or topper effects are like 14. And I know inflation is a bummer and they're going to have to raise prices soon, but such is life, such is the case. But yeah, so that's kind of the extent of my obsession. 400 some odd polishes. So let's come back to my actual setup here. So I will kind of explain, since it's going to take a while. So this is also what you can see my nails. These are my natural nails. I don't get acrylics. I don't like the feel. I got them one time like 19 years ago for my wedding. That's it. But so these are my natural nails, and this is the only one that's sadly short because it broke. But you can see it's chipping off. I've had this polish on though for 2 or 3 weeks. So that's not bad for 2 or 3 weeks. And this was Holo Taco cheap champagne with no kind of toppers or anything on it, just the color. So since it's going to take a little bit to get this off, excuse me, I will explain my kind of setup while I remove this. So I use the Zoya Remove Plus remover. I do not use pure acetone to remove my nail polish. I do use it in this little cup for cleanup purposes. Once I've actually, once I'm applying it. Let me just, yeah, there we go. So what I tend to do, and this is a trick that I learned. There we go. Make sure I'm a little further into the camera, is I lube up with cuticle oil on my cuticles before I put the nail polish remover, just because it helps to not super dry it out. I need to get a new cuticle oil pen. This one is on its last legs, but there's still some in it. I've never had good luck refilling these, so I just buy a new one. Or I buy the kind that come in a regular polished bottle and you brush on. So I like the pump action of this. It's real easy. So the tools of my trade here is I have a glass nail file, and this is, by the way, none of this is sponsored by Holo Taco. I'm just a fan. I got this glass nail file from Holo Taco, but as a gift from somebody. I've used other glass nail files, and they vary in quality. I have one I got a few years ago at like a craft fair that's pretty good. I keep it on my desk for work, and it holds up. I have a couple others that I got off of Amazon that are kind of hit or miss in terms of how much they actually file. Like they file, but they're just like, I don't know. It's hard to. Maybe the grit is not correct. It's hard to kind of explain that. There we go. Let me just, yeah. That way I don't have to kind of push my hand too far into frame. All right. Yeah, there we go. So I already washed my hands, but I also tend to have some rubbing alcohol, and I just put that on a cotton swab, and I have my cuticle pusher and kind of scraper that I tend to use just to get the extra crud out. And ooh, I did this a few minutes ago, but I think I scratched the dog, so it got gross again. All right. Or I missed my thumb. I don't know. It's hard to say. So this one, there's just a few little pieces of polish left on this finger. Okay. All right. Let me. Yeah, you're just gonna see my tummy while I do this. All right. There we go. So some of my tools that you can see here is I've linked in the description below. I use this cuticle pusher and scraper. I use really super cheap Wet n Wild brushes so this one I used. Let's see if you can see it. It's hard to get it focused here, but it's an angled liner brush that works really good to clean up polish. And then I have the big fluffy brush for dusting purposes. So let me just kind of stick that back where it was. I have this nifty little thing I got at a Daiso Japan. It's actually a chopstick holder, so that you can rest your chopsticks in, but it comes in handy to rest my cleanup brush in when I have it an acetone. I have some lint-free squares to kind of soak stuff up. I have this lint-free larger square that I kind of use. And I also have what's normally referred to as a dampen dish. A lot of nail techs use this kind of thing for like monomer if they're doing acrylics, which I don't, but I keep this and use it for the acetone. As you can see, this is a very old TV tray, and I have spilled acetone on it before. I don't care about the finish, so. But I also have this like plastic mat, placemat, and if I am doing any kind of more extensive stuff than just a regular manicure, I do have one of those silicone mats that I have misplaced today. I could not find it. Um, I think I know where it is, but I have like some silicone mats. I have both the kind that's, made for nail polish, and I also have like a cheap one I got off of Amazon that's, meant for baking or something. So I have that. As you can see, there's this little. See, this is not meant to be this way. I dropped it and it chipped, but it was just a little like sauce um, dish that I also got from a Daiso, and then my little palette, um, just an extra little layer that's pretty of. I can use it if I were doing nail art stuff as like an actual palette. Um, but I don't do a lot of nail art stuff these days. With working from home and the pandemic, I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not, not feeling it most of the time. But I have nail stamping stuff. I have decals. I have stencils. Yeah, I've got a lot of random stuff. It's a lot of fun. So I think I have been painting my own nails probably since college. Yeah, since college. So more than 20 years. And I remember my first year in college, my roommate having a little drawer in her desk of like 10 nail polishes. And I would borrow hers. I bought a few. We would share. And it was just, when you are in the dorms in college, your first year, you're away from home. And I was about 7 or 8 hour drive from home, and I didn't have a car. So, you're away from home. You got to kind of find ways to bond with people who you just met. So that was a good way to kind of bond and find common ground with my first college roommate, was doing our nails. And it was fun. So it's just kind of exploded from there, really, into, as I showed you before, the 443 polishes I currently have. Now, that 443 number does include top coats and base coats, because I have some different top coats that are different effect. I've got glossy, I've got a matte, which I'm going to use today for the first time, this particular matte top coat. And I've got, some of the Holo Taco toppers, like the various linear holographic, everything taco, scattered holographic. I've got one unicorn skin, which I have out and may use. I don't have that link in the description because I was not intending, when I set up the stream last night, I wasn't really thinking about using a topper. But as I was taking out my polishes, it spoke to me. So we'll see. I might do like a accent nail with the top. Ah, son of a bitch. With the topper. So the problem with like nails this long that are your natural nail is that without polish on them, they can bend, and that doesn't feel great. So I just bent the heck out of this one, and it kind of hurt. Um, yeah. But that's also why, even though, I mentioned that I am not going out a whole lot these days because of working from home, and I got sick, and just some things. Um, not doing a lot of nail art, but I do keep my nails polished for the most part because it keeps them strong. So they're pretty, I don't want to say weak as is, but they bend and flex. And these puppies don't really bend and flex. Now, this is a little long for me. Usually they break by by this time, I'll tell you. But I am going to be filing them down, and I have read and researched a lot that indicates it is much better for you to file your nails than it's better for you to file your nails than to cut them, if at all possible. So I try to file them down, but I'm also impatient. So that's a thing. And I am realizing that, we're 20 some odd minutes in, and I only have one hand done in terms of getting the polish off. And I know some of that is because I was waffling on a bit and distracted, and kind of giving you the layout of the stuffs that I have here. So I think next time we don't need that. Next time I'll do this off camera. This particular polish, normally it doesn't take this long to get the polish off, but this particular glittery metallic foily polish, and it being a very good formulation, is harder to get off. So that's the pitfall that comes with a really good formulation. It stays on forever, and it's a pain in the butt to get off. So, and I don't tend to do the soaking thing. I have in the past, but it's not usually necessary. This is kind of proving it might have been necessary here, because this is irregular to take this long. So, frickin' finally. I have not, this is going to be the first time that I have used one of the Holo Taco creme polishes. This is the first time I've bought a Holo Taco creme polish, because most of the cremes, some of them have definitely been interesting, and colors that I don't have, but none of them really jumped out at me like the holographic toppers or any of that. But I really like the color, the purple of this one. Purple is my favorite color, if you could not tell by my branding. So I really liked the color of this one. And I've heard good things about the cremes. Now, I do have the One Coat Black and the Not Milky White, and I guess those are technically cremes. I'm not a huge fan of the non-milky white, but apparently, so I got the non-milky white like 3 years ago when it came out, and apparently they changed the formulation a little bit after it came out. And Christine of Simply Nailogical had said that it was her intention with that non-milky white to have a polish that was pretty flexible in terms of it's really thick, but also if you are savvy and you're doing nail art with it, you can thin it down. And that's what I have had to do. I've had to thin it down. And I guess that was part of why they changed the formulation eventually, was because they wanted to make it a little more user friendly for basic nail enthusiasts, and not so kind of technical in terms of having to thin it down, because I would say the average person who does their nails probably doesn't have a nail thinner. I do, because I'm extra like that. And the other thing too is that technically nail polish has an expiration date. But I say nay because it still works. I have polishes that are easily more than 10 years old. Easily. Probably more than that. If I'm being honest, I'm going to guess I have some polishes that I got in college. So 20 some odd years. Hey, we're almost there. Just this little bugger left. All right, God. It's hurting my fingers. All right. So we are, so yeah, they technically have a shelf life, but unless they are just gunked up, crusty, will not flow, even with some thinner, I rarely chuck them. So that's kind of my philosophy, and maybe it's also because I'm a little bit of a hoarder with those nail polishes. So that's also why I have thinner, because sometimes it can, look clumpy and goopy and gross. You throw a couple drops of thinner in there and it works great. And that's all it really needed to shine again. Sometimes it's beyond saving, and those are sad days when I have to throw out a polish. All right, son of a monkey. All right. I've got glitter everywhere on my fingers, but there's no more polish. So, all right. What I'm going to do here, chuck those into my trash bag. And take a quick pause. So, one thing that I will just mention, because we're talking about it and I'm about to open a soda, is I don't use my nails to open soda cans, because that is a surefire way for them to break. I have this thing, which is fantastic. Alright. And I have one that I keep on my desk, and one that I keep over here in the living room, which is where I am. And one that I keep in my purse for when I'm ootin' a boot. Okay. So, the next thing, since I have floof all over, is I'm gonna, done with the remover, I'm gonna take the alcohol again and just kind of wipe off my nails just to get off that residue from the remover. It's also grabbing some more of the miscellaneous glitter that's everywhere. Now, something has happened over the last few years with my nails that is a weird body chemistry thing. Is that if I were to go straight from here to putting on a base coat and putting on the color, in a few days, an entire nail's worth of polish will just boop, pop right off. It's the weirdest damn thing. So, what I've had to start doing is buffing my nails. So these little mini disposable orange buffers, they are truly, now for somebody who tries to reuse as much as I can, these are truly, you use them once and you have to chuck them. Because they only have so much buffing power, I should say, so much grit on them. And one side is a little finer than the other side. This is the finer side, I believe. Now, when I buy these again, I might look for a different brand that's got different colors on either side so I can really, really tell the difference. But you can't because my camera is not good enough, sadly. But there is a slight difference in the grit. All right. Anyway, so I'm skipping around already. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is actually push my cuticles back and kind of scrape some of this dead skin off my nails. And that'll also kind of help to adhere the polish. And just clean everything up. Now, just because I am doing this on a video for you, does not mean I do the best job of this sometimes. I am self-taught, as with most things in my life, I'm self-taught. And just learn what I could from friends. And I do get my nails done at a salon every once in a great while. Mostly I get pedicures at salons and don't bother with them messing with my nails because they never do it right. But sometimes I just, I'm already there, I'm getting the pedicure, I just go all in. Yeah. So I'm not saying this is the way to go. This is the way you should do it. I'm just saying this is what has worked for me. And, yeah. Okay. So, ouch. That kind of hurt. I do own those like cuticle nippers, but I do not use them because I learned the difference between what is your cuticle that can go, which is like this kind of stuff that's stuck to your nail, and what is your live tissue that might be dry and crusty. Live tissue that might be dry and crusty, but you should not cut it, even if it's dry and crusty. If it's dry and crusty, put more nail oil on it. That's the policy. All right, so now I've pushed that back. This side is the finer side, so I'm going to start with the not as fine side. And just kind of give these a really light buff to give the base coat something to adhere to. Okay, that's with the rougher side and finer side. Okay, so as you can see, this is already pretty roughed and used, and it really kind of can't be used again. So into the trash bag it goes. Now I'm going to actually get these cotton balls. That one is in use, out of my way. And it's time to shape. So I think for the most part, I don't have to do much on the shaping. I am really not great with the symmetry of shaping, as you can see if you look really carefully. My nails are generally in this rounded shape that I like. But sometimes they're, a little less round on one side. I just generally try not to have them square and boxy. And I like getting in, ow, son of a, stab myself. I like getting into the sides and having kind of this taper. That is my preferred shape. And that's also why I tend to do my nails myself, because they rarely do it right when I go to a salon. And I am learning that I can't really talk. Can't really talk while I do this, because that nails on a chalkboard that just drives some people insane. And it hurts your teeth when you hear it and feel it. That's how I feel when I'm filing my nails. It just, I feel it in my teeth. It's weird. I don't know how else to describe it, but I can feel the filing in my teeth, and it hurts. I'm also, as I said, because I'm not patient, I'm bad at going back and forth on the file. You're really supposed to go one direction. I can't do that. All right, let me get this floofiness. And this is why this is a cheap $2 brush, because I'm really just using it to get the dust out of the way and off of my shirt and things. It's not a level of dust where I need a professional dust collector people who do acrylics do. It's just enough to be a pain in my butt. All right. So I was going to file them down a bit more, but I don't think I will. I think I'm good with this. Okay. So the next thing is the base coat. I've been using this Nail Tech, the Natural Nail Experts. Let me see if I can get... Yeah, the autofocus is not great on this. Good to know. All right. This Nail Tech brand, the Natural Nail Experts. This is a ridge filler, because I have this one nail that you can kind of see. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's got that ridge on it. So I've been using this for a while. I like it. It gives it a nice base, and I like that it's got like a nice wide brush. I do like the wide brushes, but not like um paint a house wide, if that makes sense. Sometimes I've had some brands of polish where the brush is just so wide. You're like, how am I supposed to get into like all the way up to my cuticle and stuff? And I guess that's something that I am bad slash good about, is that I like to get full coverage on my nails. I like to get right in on the sides. I like to get right up to the cuticle with the polish and everything. And a lot of times people don't do that at the salon. There's a nice little line of demarcation right like here. Like that's as far as they get. I don't roll like that. And I look like a chunk arms because I got my watch pushed up. But I mean, I do have chunk arms, but you know, we're not judging. We're not judging. This is a judgment-free channel. Thank you. All right, so almost done, and I don't need more than just the one thin coat of the base coat, and it really doesn't take that long to dry. It's already dry enough on my left hand, and as you can tell, I am right-handed, so I tend to start on my left hand and then move over to my right hand because the left hand is way easier. And I've over the years gotten better at the left, or at the, using my left hand, but I am not great by any stretch of the imagination. There's another nail channel that I follow, Long Hair Pretty Nails, and she does acrylics, and I really appreciate like the artistry and what's involved to do acrylics. Not that I want to do them. So I like watching hers, and she is left-handed and does like phenomenal art on her left hand with her right hand. She's really trained herself to do that, and more power to her. I can't make it work, but that's just me. All right, so now what I'm going to do, so I have my acetone, and I have had many a problem spilling acetone, so I use this pipette dropper to pull some out and put it in my little dampen dish here, so that I'm not spilling it everywhere and taking varnish off of things and melting plastic. Some shit has happened, okay? And because I don't do this on like the same surface every time, I kind of just tend to sit over here in the recliner and watch TV and do my nails, or I used to do them at my desk while I was working, but I have a different setup now, and so I don't have as much space like in front of me to do that. So this is how it's worked for me lately. All right, so I've got my acetone ready for the cleanup. I've got the base coat on. I'm gonna put one of these bad boys like right here, so that I can just kind of, dab, dab, dab. All right, so this is the unboxing of Work Bestie from Holo Taco. I don't know if this was part of a collection. I didn't remember seeing it as part of any collection. I just went on a few weeks ago to replenish my glossy taco and saw this color and really liked it. So it's a nice kind of medium purple, kind of grapey. Yeah, it's actually really grapey. I like it. Um, all right. So this has the wide brush, and it's kind of wide. Let me put it over the white so you can see. Oops, it's gonna drip. It's kind of wide and tapered in like a kind of semi circle, and that really like gets in to where you want it to get into. Okay, just gonna give it another. That's what I love to hear. Can you hear it? The little bead in there to mix everything up. I love it. Um, I love it so much that I bought these off of Amazon a few years back so that I could add them to the crappier polishes that don't have one, because these really help to like mix it up and keep it usable. Okay, this is like, there we go. It was like weirdly moving. Okay. So I'm going to attempt something here. We're going to put on a little bit of music. Thank you, StreamYard, for this music that's not going to get me copyright striked. I assume. Don't mess with me, StreamYard. And I'm going to get down to business. Ooh, look at that. That is one coat. Mwah. This is why Holo Taco is worth the money. Frickin' one coat, glorious. Oh, I need a better camera to show you how great this is. Shit. All right. So, I had originally was going to use a glossy taco on top of this, but then when I was looking up the color so I could put the link in the description, I saw it with the matte top coat and was like, ooh, girl. All right. So I got the matte top coat. And then I got this cosmic unicorn skin that we might throw on one or two nails just for good measure. Damn. This brush, though, I have not had to, like, pick up my cleanup brush. Is this the same brush? Hold on. Now we have to look. Is this the same one that's in the other colors? Maybe I got the thinner... Oh! I've been getting a thinner brush in most of the other Holo Tacos. This wider brush is the business. Yes. Oh my god. Alright, damn. Okay, so now is a good time for me to note that I noticed recently the Holo Taco sells, you can get different brushes. I may have to order some. Because this wide brush, girl, like 5 or 6 years ago, Julep came out with this plie wand, right? And the idea was you could unscrew the caps from any of the juleps, screw the plie wand, and it was a long, like, this style, like, brush that would help you do your nails. And I got one, and it was alright, but I never really used it that much. Oh, this is so much better. Shit. Look at that. Damn, son. Alright. I cannot overstate how impressed I am with this. Okay. Now that we're doing my dominant hand, I am seeing this is where I'll need the cleanup. Just a little bit. There we go. Oh, shit. I do sometimes use this. This nifty thing here grabs the polish and holds it. However, square polishes, it doesn't really work. So, with the square polishes, I should have grabbed this out before I painted one of my thumbnails. Okay, Sarah. I have this that my husband printed on his 3D printer for me. The myriad of cool things you find on Thingiverse. So there we go. That, like, okay, I thought I like bumped my finger. So then it kind of holds it at a angle, keeps it a-flowing. Okay. I cannot get over this creme formulation. Oh my gosh. Alright, that was bound to happen. Hey man, for third to the last nail, that's pretty good. Oh shit. Alright, so I just noticed I've got a little hair in this nail. So I usually have some tweezers that I can pull that out with, but they are in there and too many of my nails, I can't grab them with just these two nails. So let's see if I can do this. Aha! That worked like gangbusters. Look at this. There's a couple of spots I could clean up on that hand now that I am a little I'm a little over my starstruckness. Seeing a few little spots. Oh, dang. So, the other thing I will say briefly about these brushes being cheap is that eventually, because I'm dipping it in acetone, the paint will start to come off the metal part, and eventually the glue that's holding the bristles in will start to get fussy, and it'll, when I push, the bristles will start going in. So that's why I get these brushes that are like $1 on Amazon, and that way once they get too jacked, I can chuck them. And this is, I really like this angledness. I have tried a bunch of different cleanup brushes and brushes that were, specifically made for nail cleanup, and they just are not as effective for me trying to get into these little crevices and on my cuticle. They're just not as effective. I will show. Ooh. No, I nicked it. All right. I was going to show you one of my cleanup brushes that is specifically for nails, but I hit my index finger, so I'm going to fix that in a second and give up on that endeavor and maybe show you after they're got top coat and dry. There we go. All right. I got a little tiny nick. My camera's not even good enough for you to see the nick. I'm just gonna touch that up. Yeah. All right. Last. Oh, nope. I'm not done with the cleanup on this one. There we go. This is super like giving me grape soda vibes, and I'm here for it. I wasn't expecting the grape soda vibes, but I enjoy it. Ooh! Alright, so I have a plan for Halloween this year. I started putting the pieces of it together in 2020, so I have not yet debuted my cosplay Ursula, but this color, perfect for that. Okay. And I say like a cosplay because it's going to be similar to my Stay Puffed costume, in that I bet you there will be people that say it doesn't count as a costume, but it gives enough. That was already there. Okay, it gives enough of the effect of a costume while still being comfortable and wearable for my chunky ass that I'll give it to you if you say it's cosplay. But I think it still counts as a costume. Okay. Which, let me see if I can show that to you. I know, I'm sure you love seeing my Oops. No. Where's Halloween? Okay. Bear with me. Boom. There you go. The glory that was my Stay Puffed. See, so I call it a costume. It maybe is more of a cosplay, but I did buy white face paint. I never did use it. The first year that I did this was 2013, and I actually had a cold right before going out with my friends, so I did not want to put makeup on over like a crusty nose. So I did not do that. And yeah, but I think it looked good. And my Ursula is very similar in terms of it's a pantsuit. It's got some purple shirt. It's got accoutrement. It's it's gonna happen. It's gonna be popping. All right, move my. Oh, look at that! Look at the match. Woo! Unintentional, but I love it. Okay, move my mouse out of the way. So this has like a really nice shine to it, but like I said, that matte looked sick. And I did buy this matte top coat. I'm going to fix up one of my cuticles here. I did buy this matte top coat a while ago because I have other brands of matte top coat, and they were just not great. So I decided around Christmas time, I'm just going to buy the Holo Taco one because they have never led me astray in anything I've bought there. Well, except for the not milky white, which I told you about my issues with it. But that's, one out of a bunch is not bad odds. So I went ahead and got the matte top coat from Holo Taco, hoping that it is that it will so here's my problem with most matte top coats is that they don't last and paint starts to chip, and I feel like I still have to put a glossy top coat on like underneath the matte just to get it to last, and that sucks because I don't like having like super like tons of layers of polish. Like I love that this is one coat. This is fantastic. Because if you do layers, you do a thin coat, but sometimes it's not as thin as it would be, it should be. Anyway, so I'm hoping, my hope for the Holo Taco matte top coat is that it lasts just as well as the glossy. I don't have to like put a glossy over it or under it to work. All right. So, all right, get a little fuzzy out of there. Still looks pretty shiny, but you know, it's got to do what it's got to do. Also, to be fair, like, even matte, I think my nails are going to be shiny enough that they're going to reflect this bright light, which I could also link in the description. I got this light a few years back, and when we're all done here, I'll kind of pull the camera off of this and show it to you. But oh yeah, I do like the matteness. So putting them next to each other, you can kind of see, again, I'm learning that this camera is fine when I'm just showing my face and showing my screen, but not great for this little level of detail. I'm just starting out here. All right, so what was I gonna say about that? I got sidetracked. So I always try to like get under the tip a little bit, just to kind of wrap it. And it helps the edges kind of get sealed in there. I like that. So sometimes my problem with doing that, with wrapping tips, is that it gets, oh, that's too much. That's goopy. That the polish gets goopy, and so it doesn't like self-level and smooth out. This is nicely self-leveling and smoothing out, which I am kind of not surprised because the quality. Chunked. Ooh. Yes. So that's, you can kind of see the matte versus the glossy a little bit. And I'll take, oh shit. Ah! Flew too close to the sun. Just smooth that out. Schnurf. You can't, there you go. You can see the like line of purple from my pinky that I have now. It only took a little bit of polish off. I'm not even going to bother fixing it because it's a tiny little bit on my pinky. Back to what I was saying. I will share this way. I will share like close-up nice pictures on my Instagram, which is TrishaLyn03. As I mentioned in my rebranding video, someday I hope to be able to get it to match everything else that I've been able to get the username of just TrishaLyn. Someday my username will come, or I'll just go a whole other direction and change my username everywhere. Not likely. But, you know, I've been forgetting the, oh, son of a, all right. Getting sloppy. Focus. There's a little bit of purple on the brush, so I maybe should have waited a little longer for this side to dry. Oh, I like that. I'm not sure. I think if I put on the Cosmic Unicorn skin on like my ring, like my ring fingers, I'll put the matte top coat back over it. Let's see. Going ham. Felt the grays. Let me just move that out of the way. I always like doing 2 coats of the unicorn skin because it gives it a bit more dimension and really like packs the flakies on there. And yes, after I talked at length about I don't like too many layers of paint on my nails, I really could have just done that before putting the matte onto those nails, but you know, no one's perfect. All right, so there you see the mattes next to that topper. I'm just gonna let that dry a bit more before attempting the matte topper on top. Up some of the spillage. It's still pretty sticky. Oh, sorry. The white just went nuts when I removed my hands. Okay. Yes, we're watching paint dry, but okay. Let's try this. Now, if I kind of float it, it should be okay. can definitely, I don't know if you can, like, see the difference between the layers. Like, there's, 3 layers on this nail, and there's 3, 4, 5, 6 on this one. It's not crazy, but it is a noticeable difference. But I do like the unicorn skin under the mat. Comparating, I like it. All right. I dig it. Oh, I dig it. Look at that. All right. So some of my cleanup here is now it has severely evaporated a lot of that acetone. So what I will do is I'll take a cotton swab and just soak up the rest of that, which again, I didn't pull out my tweezers that I would normally do that with. So let me see if I can stab a cotton ball. All right, soak up the rest of that. That is wiped off. And there we have it. All right. So I had said that I would pull the camera out and show you my light and such. So bear with me here. This will be, look away. There we go. All right. So this is kind of the setup. My little thing. My laptop's over there. The little arm that has been holding this camera so nicely. And my lamp. It's actually a magnifying lamp from Bright Tech. It's pretty great. Let me turn it off and show you like with the natural light that's coming in, all the stuff. So yeah. Turn that back on. Let's see if we can get a better shot of my nails. No. Oh well. You get a good idea in the process. And I will share them on my Instagram. And thank you for joining me. Until next time. Oh, this is what I keep everything in. Old train case. Yes, I have a Twixie, but I barely ever use it. All right. So, thank you so much for joining me. And hopefully, this manicure lasts a while. And we will catch up with the future manicure later. Bye, everybody.